Hello ladies and gentlemen, CaptainShacks here, and welcome to TG10, Top 10 Upcoming Space Sims. KSP is a game where players create and manage their own space program. Build spacecraft, fly them, and try to help the Kerbals fulfill their ultimate mission of conquering space. The original game is still in development and is not yet officially released, but that hasn't stopped modders. Just recently, some very passionate and talented modders have released Kerbal Multiplayer. It's a real working multiplayer plugin that works. Mostly. KMP is this pre-alpha, and the mod author stated, KMP is currently held together by thumbtacks and Elmer's glue, so some bugs and crashing should be expected until they have a chance to develop it further. Rodinia is an extremely ambitious project being developed by a former Bethesda Softworks employee who has worked on the games like Oblivion and Fallout 3. He's on a mission to develop the game that finally combines all the aspects of our favorite sci-fi TV series. He's boasting the ability to dogfight in space, have gun battles on procedurally generated planets and surfaces, a massive world, open-ended gameplay, and fully simulated game mechanics such as hacking the source code in a ship to disable its weapons or vent toxic gas into an engineering room, and create your own structures to give players more creativity in the way they play. It's an interesting concept that I will definitely be keeping an eye on here on TGN. EVE Online is the only MMORPG sandbox set in space currently. I spent years in that universe fighting wars, mining planets, hunting pirates, but along the way, I felt the devs had lost touch with their primary fan base, the PC players. When CCP released their first FPS shooter, it was set in the EVE universe, but only PS3 players had a chance to see the EVE universe from this new perspective. Now CCP is at it again, giving players the chance to see New Eden from a different perspective, the cockpit of a fighter. EVE Valkyrie will be tied to the EVE universe in some way, but we don't know yet how. They won't even confirm that the game will be released on PC for sure. Even though it's advertising Oculus Rift support, they refuse to confirm a PC release for the title. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little bit interested. CCP, don't screw your PC fanbase again. Come on, we're funding the development of these games with our subscriptions to EVE. Let us play them. What would happen if you took the indie game FTL, made it 5-player co-op, gave it an impressive looking 3D engine? Well, you'd have Pulsar, the Lost Colony. You and a group of friends play as the crew of a spaceship, moving through randomly generated scenarios as you make your way to the mysterious Lost Colony, fighting, trading, and upgrading your ship as you progress, taking on roles of the helmsman, aka the pilot, the weapons officer, the captain, the engineer who's running around raising shields. You'll be returning fire and trying to repair the ship. It's an interesting take on a cooperative concept that I'm really surprised hasn't been done before. If Pulsar is inspired by FTL, then Blockade Runner is the spaceborne version of Infiniminer and Minecraft, using a voxel engine. Blockade Runner, emphasis on the block part, is a multiplayer first-person space adventure game that is planned to have fully destructible, operational, crewable spaceships. In a massive procedurally generated galaxy. Think Minecraft with spaceships, planets, starbases, proper AI, and guns. Lots and lots of guns. When people talk about Minecraft in space, this is the title that normally comes up. I've been following its development for quite a while now, and the devs are dedicated to turning this into the ultimate space sandbox. This is one of the few games on this list you can download and try right now, but keep in mind, it's still in development. You can build ships in single player or cooperatively in multiplayer. You can fight wars, you can mine, you can walk around on planets, create your own faction and build star bases and stations. We've already seen some really interesting designs come out of the StarMade community. From a technical standpoint, Limit Theory is my top pick. Josh Parnell is building a fully dynamic world. From the star bases to the nebulas, ships, asteroids, even the AI will be procedurally generated. It's being designed as an infinite open world that's living, breathing. The AI go about their day and the player isn't the center of the universe. Large-scale combat from the ground up, owning stations, building fleets, planetary interaction, the list of exciting features is extremely impressive. What's even more impressive is how passionate Josh is about his project, and after watching 20 minutes of his design blogs over on his channel, the link's down below, you will instantly recognize how much talent he has and the amazing amount of progress he makes every month with each video showcasing what he's done. I really recommend you head over to his channel and check out his work. It's fantastic. The X series has a long history, and for quite some time it's been the only space sim on the market that's relatively new with X Albion Prelude. In all the X games, you could play the story or leave it behind and enjoy the sandbox elements, like building an empire, creating a trade network, constructing a fleet and taking over space sectors, fighting pirates and owning stations. In Rebirth, you can now actually get out of your ship, the Albion Skunk, and walk around stations, talk to NPCs, and the level of detail is stunning. We're just gonna have to see how well this design, the new design for the X series, really holds the original fan base. But what we do know is it looks really good. Every game on this list can trace some aspect of its inspiration back to the original Elite from 1984. Elite Dangerous is the fourth installment of the series. Like the previous games, you're given a ship, some credits, and turned loose on a procedurally generated universe. How you play is up to you. Be a bounty hunter, a pirate, a miner, whatever you want. One interesting feature is the ability for the player to affect a star system. If the player continually works against a star system, it could destabilize a local government and turn it into a chaotic war zone. Seeing how factions and governments are also procedurally generated, this could affect a wide area of the universe. Elite Dangerous is due for release sometime in 2014. Everyone knew this was coming. Star Citizen holds the record for the highest amount ever generated for a crowd-funded game, sitting at the time of this video recorded at a massive $28 million. It seems like every 2 or 3 weeks they hit their new stretch goal, and this has to be one of the best looking upcoming games, hands down. Not space sims, not FPSs, all games, hands down probably one of the best looking ever. From the folds in your flight suit to the guns on the massive carrier, it's downright beautiful. But it's not just looks, it also boasts a fully simulated flight mechanics and subsystem integration, with each individual thruster rendered, so if you take damage to a thruster in a dogfight, it'll actually affect the controls of your ship. Modding will be supported out of the box. A single-player campaign is set to be released called Squadron 42, which will later open up to the massive universe to explore. Also in the design plan is a pseudo-MMO style game option to get online and play with other citizens in an ever-evolving universe. Now there's one more game that I didn't mention, but Star Citizen did take my number one, but I have to mention Space Engineers. I wanted this to be my number one, and I didn't know where to put it in here. It's early access on Steam, and me personally, I'm playing probably way too much of that game. It's a block building game, much like Star Made, but it to me looks way better. It's got an interesting physics engine. You can design almost any kind of ship you can imagine. You can land fighters on the ship. It just looks really good and doesn't look like your average voxel game. So I'm gonna put that one in my number 0, whatever category you want to call this. The game is a lot of fun. If you want to check out the videos that I've done already on it, I've got a lot of speed builds and some community spotlights on builds that the community has made. really, really cool. A lot of Star Wars stuff, if you're into Star Wars. I've also been covering Star Citizen for quite a while. I've got stuff on the permadeath system that they've been designing. There's videos on how stations are going to work and some of the stretch goals that have been met. I highly recommend you guys check those out. I hope you guys found some new games to get excited about. The Space Sim is coming back, and I know I'm stoked for X-Rebirth, which is coming out tomorrow. I've had a chance to play some of the demo early on, which was really cool. So I have to ask, what's your guys' favorite Space Sim? Did I miss one? I really want to know. There are a lot coming out, and I'd love to know about every one of them that's on the way. So let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, hit that thumbs up button, sub here to TGN for more gaming goodness, and as always, thanks for watching. I will see you guys next time.